Historic moments frozen in time are encapsulated throughout the Iowa Memorial Union, which has been the setting for lavish celebrations, times of joy, civil unrest, natural disaster, and service. Often referred to as the heart of campus, at the heart of the IMU is the people. Now celebrating its centennial, we reflect on the milestones made possible by generations of Hawkeyes and the future of the IMU as a beacon of opportunity for students. In 1911, the concept of the Union was founded as a place to gather on campus socially. After occupying space in several locations on campus, in 1924, construction began on the Union's permanent home located at 125 North Madison Street, where it has remained and evolved ever since.
The IMU was established immediately following World War I to memorialize the service of our armed forces.
It was built as a memorial to the veterans and the casualties of World War I.
And we have continued to pay tribute to the men and women who served the armed forces.
Well, I saw the memorial wall the first time I came through here, and my dad took me and specifically showed me that lists the casualties of World War I, II, and at that time, some in Vietnam.
The memorial aspect of our union lives and breathes more than most, and that's because of some of our alums' commitment.
It grabbed my heart for sure because of my father's association with World War II, and then at the time Vietnam War was going on when I came here as a student, and so unfortunately we knew the wall was going to grow.
That part of our history to me is really important. We need to continue to pay tribute to the men and women who served the armed forces.
That was the initial purpose, and I think fundamentally that remains the purpose today. It's the Iowa Memorial Union.
I hear from alums about how the IMU was used decades and decades and decades ago.
The IMU functioned as a performing arts center, as an art gallery, as an activities center.
I mean, I hear all about dances and student social gatherings.
In the lower level was a nightclub called the Silver Shadow, and it had all of the attractions of any bar downtown except that it did not serve liquor or beer. And then in 1955, with the first of two editions, came all kinds of extras: a bowling alley, a billiards hall, a lot of pastime activities that were not facilitated before.
Along the way, the IMU housed concerts.
And they brought in some of the best acts in the world. We got all the top entertainment. It was amazing.
But in addition to it being a fun destination, it's also historically a place of political activism. I think a bookend for the period of campus activism came in 1959 when the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. visited Iowa City. That was a landmark event, and that served as a touchstone for subsequent civil rights activism in Iowa City. The formation of the Committee on Human Rights on campus, the city organized a Human Rights Commission. Much of this, I think, came in response to Dr. King's admonition, and he did that right here at the Iowa Memorial Union. Whether it's organizational work by students on campus, whether it's political activism, it's all there.
With Iowa being the first in the nation caucus state, or for a long time being the first in the nation caucus state, we pretty much had any person who was running for president pass through the union doors.
A lot of ideas are shared in the IMU. There are unpopular as well as popular viewpoints that are shared.
We empower students through learning. We are an intersection of different people learning about one another and being committed to listening to truly understand differences. And so we create opportunities, we create space, we create programs, we create events where students can explore those differences.
Part of the historical nature of the IMU is that it means so many different things to so many different people. And for students who are involved, this place really does, I think, become a second home. It really is a catalyst for innovation and incubation of student ideas. So many things that you see in the union are student-led initiatives or student-run initiatives may have started in a meeting room upstairs or in a space that we found here in the Union.
Certainly UI Dance Marathon, but Homecoming and River Run and student government and the Greek community, their efforts were organized here.
The College Union can be a place to destigmatize things. And a tremendous illustration of that is our food pantry. At the time, we dedicated a hotel room. It was kind of off the beaten track. We were really worried about confidentiality. We were really worried about the stigma associated with it. And it grew and it grew and it grew and it grew to the point where it was so normal that I remember talking to the vice president and saying, I'm either going to make a really great choice or a really bad choice. We need to move the food pantry down to the ground floor. And that's one of the most celebrated gems in our building currently is our food pantry and clothing closet. Again, it's a learning. You destigmatize as a result of learning about something.
So I think about it being such a nerve center, such an epicenter for the student experience.
What was historically a gathering place and a memorial to honor service and sacrifice continues to grow with students' needs. Now in 2025, students will see major changes occurring in the IMU.
This is the year we're celebrating our Centennial.
We talk about kind of the past 100 years, and now we're building for the next 100 years.
And so we're starting now with our new student orientation program and continuing and kind of ramping up our effort all the way through February when we have our gala.
So I'm excited about all the events that are going to take place, the opportunity for alums to engage when they're back on campus during homecoming in the fall. Just really a great opportunity to reintroduce the Union to all those past Hawkeyes who know and love this place, but then also a time to celebrate it for new students as we move into the future.
The main ballroom is tremendous. It's still the way it was when I was here. And I think they've added more services, more student support systems.
When they opened the Starbucks in the IMU, that was the best day of my life, actually.
Leaders have really kept their finger on the pulse of what do students need for this physically to be.
Historically, the College Union has been referred to as the living room of the university. And frankly, I think we're more than that.
As we continue to add to the holistic well-being services, our student health service, our university counseling service, it really will become even more so that destination for students.
So during my time as vice president, I got to work a lot with Bill Nelson, who's the director of the IMU. He has been such a great leader in so many ways, especially in moving the IMU forward. And he's so excited about it that it makes everyone around him be excited about it.
I'm very proud of that. The notion that we're bringing over our counseling center, our university health services into the student union is kind of a state-of-the-art move and pretty innovative. And I think it makes complete sense today, knowing what our students need, which isn't a lot different than students across the country, and co-locating those services in the hub of learning and activity makes infinite sense. And we'll see how that works.
I mean, I'm amazed when I see not only what exists now, but what they're planning to add. I never would have thought that you could come here and see a lawyer or come here and see a medical person if you were sick. I think those are all great additions.
Our effort has been led by three priorities. Our first priority being the well-being aspect. Our second priority has been food service and building circulation wayfinding. And then our final priority is the exterior of the building. And I'm really excited about that because it gives us the opportunity to change the face of this building. So hopefully the seamless transition from a much more vibrant and well-lit and accessible first floor all the way out to Hubbard Park. That physical change in the building will be dramatic, but there's more to do with the building that we're setting aside for donor opportunities. And so that's part of my job is then to find people who love this place like we have loved this place and see if they're willing to extend their love well beyond their days on campus. And I think we'll be successful doing that.
As the continued hub of student activity on campus, the IMU evolves with its students, making room for future generations and providing more opportunities to connect, to express themselves, to serve, and to learn than ever before.